Hello, I'm David.
And I'm Lisa.
And this is Lisa and David's Extraordinary, Ordinary People and Places.
Now, I've been elsewhere today with my niece and nephew. David's been visiting Rochdale, and you met with a really interesting guy today.
I did.
His name is Chief Inspector Umar Khan, and
I wasn't in trouble. Yeah.
Now, this interview is really, really powerful. Think for a minute what the police force means to you, and then watch this video, and it will completely turn that on its head. The amount of stuff that the police force actually does for the community. We were talking last week about Ellie's food bank, and this all ties in because the actual police force of Rochdale are assisting the children of Manchester and Lancashire with the Key 103 Cash for Kids campaign.
And the elderly of the district as well. Yeah, powerful stuff, Lisa. So yeah, let's watch it.
Great, thank you.
Great, officer. I'm here to meet Chief Inspector Umar Khan. We met at the university last week. Very good friend of mine. I'm looking forward to finding out a little bit more about Rochdale itself and the challenges of policing in Rochdale. So there we go. Let's see what we find out.
Nice to meet you, David. You have a nice journey?
We had VIP transport, thanks to your colleague.
Excellent, excellent. Good to have you here, and hope you had a safe journey over to Rochdale. So, excellent.
All right. So it's as I drove into Rochdale, I see the huge sign that says Rochdale, home of cooperation. That caught my attention. What do we know about Rochdale and the history of the borough?
Okay. I've been a police officer for 20 years now, and in those 20 years, I've spent about 10 years over here in Rochdale, and what I've learned is that this place has got immense history. Rochdale, place of cooperatives.
Yes, yeah.
Those people who have got their historical heads on will know in many years ago, this was the .com capital of the world, really, in terms of corporations.
It was the head of, the centre of the textile trade at the height of the Industrial Revolution. This is where the action was.
Definitely. And we have an interesting museum in Rochdale that if anybody ever has time to come down and visit, is all about the history of cooperatives, how they came about, how they evolved, and the benefit they brought, not just for this town itself, but the whole Greater Manchester region. And in fact, it was a national thing, and it became an international thing. It was a phenomenon. It was unbelievable, and had a massive impact on the whole of the world, the way that business was done through Rochdale, really.
That's right. So when we met a few weeks back at the university, we spoke about Rochdale, and I asked you questions about what's it like to be a police officer in kind of Greater Manchester and Rochdale. And you said, well, come and ask me the question. Come to work. So here we are. So let me ask you the question then, Umar. What's it like to be a policeman in Greater Manchester and in Rochdale?
If I was to pick two words, I would say honour and a privilege to be a police officer, first and foremost, and secondly to be serving the people of Rochdale. I say honour and a privilege because policing is a unique role that gives you the ability, that privilege to gain an insight into people's lives, and it's a unique privilege. I use that word privilege because to actually see the most private issues affecting other people, it is a privilege, and I think it's an honour then to have that ability to make a difference to people's life. And whether you work in Rochdale, whether you work in Salford, or any part of policing, whether it's Greater Manchester or nationally, and every single police officer has got that honour and the privilege to make a difference for better.
Wow. And we I asked you the normal question about you must be busy catching kind of robbers and car thieves and things, and you smiled at me and said, maybe David, it's not always like that. So in terms of the force here in Rochdale, what kind of things do we get involved with the community and so on and so forth?
Definitely. Listen, the front-end policing, as we call it, where we are chasing the bad guys and arresting people, yes, that is part of policing. For example, this Friday, just gone Friday, it was all about Operation Bauble. If you want to hashtag it on Twitter, you will
Operation Bauble, yeah, we'll put some links for that one.
Yeah, excellent. And that's about GMP doing 12 days of action on that theme, making a difference, targeting criminality, disrupting criminals from their activities, and also making people safe, because reality policing is about making people safe. And on that theme, my role within Rochdale is about neighbourhood policing and partnership policing. And my principles in life, and it's about human. We're human beings at the end of the day. I may wear this uniform, you may be working at Manchester University, but the reality is we're all human beings. We all want a peaceful life, and we want a happy life for our families and our kins. And I guess being police officers gives us that important function in society where we have to keep people safe and bring the criminals to justice. And our focus very much is about safeguarding people and keeping people safe, really.
Wow. Good. So I don't think the viewers can see yet, but if we just move this way.
What I was going to say was, in relation to, say, Christmas, people may just assume that Operation Bauble might be the type of thing where we turn up in mass and target the bad guys and smash their doors and bring the arrest them. But parallel to that is that we are working very hard with our neighbourhood teams to reach the most vulnerable people within our communities and societies. And Christmas is it is a great time for most of the people in society. It's a time to get together. It's time for families to have to reminisce, to enjoy the warmth and the presents and the hot food and excellent all that's good about Christmas. Sadly, from my role in 20 years of policing, I've seen that this is also a very difficult time for quite a significant number of people in our society, which often goes unseen, and we get to see it through our role as frontline responders.
Of course, you'll see things in the front line that the rest of us are thankfully in the main shielded from.
Definitely, and some of the things we see over Christmas, and many of Christmas's our work, is things like the vulnerable people, the isolated people, the elderly people, people with disabilities, people who are by themselves, people who are lonely. All these people have a very, very difficult time over Christmas, and often, for example, with the elderly people, this is the time of the year where so many elderly people lose their lives through cold and through isolation and through other stuff. So as an organisation, we take a number of initiatives, and one of the initiatives that we do is the Christmas hamper appeal, and we also do Cash for Children. We support the Key 103 charity appeal through ourselves. So as you will see behind me now is that our officers from Rochdale Borough Police have been given their personal donations, and although it's a tough time for policing and people working in public services, but nevertheless...
So these are gifts from the officers themselves?
Yeah,
the start of the collection, yeah?
This is the stuff that we've been doing internally, and officers have been encouraged, and they've been coming in and giving items and toys, and what we're looking for now is through our contacts in the communities, we're looking at vulnerable families. Last year on Christmas Eve, I personally went and we did an appeal on our social media accounts, which is at GMP Rochdale North, GMP Rochdale East, GMP Rochdale South. We did an appeal for our community to say that if there is anybody out there that you know would be a worthy recipient of a hamper or some presents, then please come and contact us. And loads of people
came forward.
They gave us names and details, and
wow.
If you look at our GMP Rochdale North account last year, you'll see all the photographs, and it was a really, really heart-rendering moments for me, because on the Christmas Eve, going around to somebody who had terminal illness and knocking on their door and say, listen guys, we've got a hamper here for yourselves, and it was just that humanity that impacts on people, really. And there was people who had tears of joy in their eyes, and it was like, because it's not so much the hamper or the free gift, it was the thought.
Someone paying attention and giving them
attention, really. And I just wish that I had the ability, or we had the ability, to do a lot more of it, really. But I think that's where, as society, we need to wake up. We need to have that conscience and saying, look, we're always thinking about ourselves as individuals. Have I got everything? Have I got food? Have I got clothes? but we need to start thinking wider. So when at the moment we've got this cold weather warning in place, but I'm asking how many people out there thinking, do you know what, on my street I've got some elderly residents, elderly neighbours, how about just going and knocking on their doors and saying hello, and are you able to do some shopping this week? Are you able to get out and about? Do you want me to go and get you some? And at this stage of Christmas, honestly, I'm passionate about this area because it just really, really hurts me that, never mind food and other things, people are making difficult choices about whether they'll be able to keep their home warm during this difficult time, and whether, even if they've got the money, whether they can get out to get the meter topped up. So there's little things that each and every one of us can do on a personal level, which can go and make a difference to somebody else. You just going and knocking on an elderly neighbour's door and saying, can I get you your card topped up for electricity? Can I top up your gas meter? Can I get you some soup? This could save somebody's life, and this is what we're saying to people, is that please, over the festive period, yes, have a good time, but think about other people as well.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll do that, and let's share that message. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. So, welcome for many thanks for coming to Rochdale.
It's great. And can me and Lisa come back and kind of maybe see some more of the work you do up here?
Fantastic. Tell you what I'm going to do is that in the coming weeks we're doing some events for our vulnerable people in our communities.
Okay.
We're doing an event for elderly over at Norden and Bamford, and we're doing another event in Haywood for really vulnerable people, where we're going to be doing crime prevention, but also giving them some assistance and help, and some of these items that we've collected, we'll be giving them out really to those people to show that we care.
Okay.
And it'll be great to have you and Lisa to be our guests. Excellent.
Great. Brilliant. All right.
Okay. Brilliant. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, everyone. Have a safe and Merry Christmas.
Thanks. Bye. So,
powerful stuff. And
well, let me kind of, I know what I wanted to say, and it goes something like this. I'm well aware of the history of Rochdale and the home of the cooperative movement. I was aware of the museum that Umar mentioned. I'm also aware of there's a cooperative college there that we'll go and see. I know the work the police do, and I know it's not easy, but I was taken aback by this stuff other than ordinary policing. Well, it's not ordinary policing, isn't it? But the additional work the police do, it's just humbling and quite amazing. And Umar's special man.
yeah, and what occurred to me is that we can just do one or two things just to make a massive difference. So offering someone a meal, a hot meal, just offering someone a chat, someone who's lonely, somebody who can't afford to put money in the meter, or even get to put money in the meter. We can make a massive difference. So we can just do one good deed a week, and we can also, with this, save a life, which is really moving for me.
Yeah. So just that, I'm going to repeat this now, just the idea of just popping in and saying hello to a neighbour and, are you okay, can I nip to the shops? And in conversation with Umar afterwards, just talked about maybe the fear that an old person has about just falling over in the ice in the cold weather, so they kind of not wanting to leave the house. So it's not a big ask, is it? 10 minutes of your time?
No, and think about the neighbours around you. Maybe there's someone who is lonely who would just fancy a quick chat with you. You know, they're really interested in what you're doing. Just have a chat with them this Christmas and just see what they're all about. Connect with them, offer them shopping, whatever you can.
Yeah,
but just think about it.
So I'll put selection of links, you know, in the bit down below there. The GMP Rochdale East and West Twitter links, some information about Rochdale itself and the history of the cooperative movements, and the museum that Umar spoke about, and the Key 103 appeal.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to attending a couple of events before Christmas to do with the appeal. So we'll be speaking more about that, and hopefully we can meet with the guys from Key 103 as well.
It's good. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Subscribe so you make sure you get the regular feeds, and like, and any comments, please post them up there. All right. Have a great week.
Have a good week. Enjoy all your parties and remember, drive safely.
Thanks. Bye.